Hi, this is Harvard lawyer Lee. Welcome to my YouTube channel. A week or so ago, I posted a video on can you get loot? Are you entitled to get loot in the Fortnite settlement? And I have been amazed at the response to that. I think a lot of people were wondering, am I entitled to get anything from the settlement? And if so, what? So today I want to bring you up to date on some new developments and talk to you about how you may be entitled to more than what was initially provided. Let's talk about that. First, let me just bring you up to date in general. What is the dispute about? The dispute was that Fortnite sold randomized Loot Llama loot boxes. These were boxes where you would pay your money and you did not know what you were going to get inside. There were also randomized crate loot boxes for the game Rocket League. Both had a similar problem, and in fact, in 2018, the country of Belgium banned them entirely, saying this is nothing but gambling. You're asking people to gamble that they're going to get what they actually want to buy, instead of just selling them what they want to purchase. And it was, in particular, a problem for children, for minors, anyone under the age of 18. And the reason is twofold. One is gambling, promoting gambling is illegal in many countries, but it's also particularly dangerous with people who are under the age of 18, who are minors. And in this case, many of the minors were not spending their own money. They were using their parents' credit cards with or without permission and spending the money on that. In 2019, Fortnite stopped using the randomized loot boxes, and instead they went to something called see-through Loot Llama, and as a result, you knew what you were buying. So there was a change that was made. This lawsuit that we're talking about relates to the period of time when they sold randomized loot boxes. A class action was filed, and there has been a proposed settlement. The settlement would mean that the case ends and Fortnite, Epic Games, which owns Fortnite, walks away from the lawsuit. So what is in it for you? What is it all about? Well, the first thing is there was an automatic payment to anyone who had purchased a Llama box that was 1,000 V-Bucks that were deposited straight to your Fortnite account. And supposedly, you didn't really have to do anything for that. It should have just happened. It was also true for people who bought randomized crate loot boxes on Rocket League. So that was worth about $8. But for many people, that is nowhere near the amount of money that they spent or lost on the game, and particularly on randomized boxes. So can you get more? The answer is yes, you can. You can get up to, and there are three choices, a maximum of 13,500 V-Bucks, or 13,000 credits, or $50 cash. Now, how do you do that? How do you get more? What you have to do is fill out a form. I'll put a link below so you can see what it looks like, and you can link straight to it and fill out that form. You have to fill out a separate one for Rocket League and Fortnite. If you played both games and you bought randomized loot boxes in both, you have to have two forms. You only fill out one form per game per person. It's pretty detailed. You've got to have specifics on how much you spent. I have an opinion about whether or not I think that's fair. If they could locate you to tell that you had already bought one loot box that was randomized and they could refund your money, I see no reason why they can't also go back and look and see how much you bought, but they won't do that. You have to submit the claim and you have to say what you bought. So that's a hurdle because you have to know, you have to be able to figure it out. It's also a little unclear exactly what would entitle you to get that additional money. Let me talk for just a minute about that. Here's what it says. It says if you use real money to purchase virtual currency or any other in-game item. So it's talking about real money, and it's talking about purchasing currency or other in-game item. No, it doesn't say anything about loot boxes. It doesn't say that. It just says if you were purchasing anything else. Or, and it says if you acquired an in-game item using virtual currency that you purchased with real money. Then And here's where it gets particularly murky, because it says, if you did that and you believe that the purchase or the in-game item gives rise to a claim of consumer fraud, breach of contract, or other claim for damages. Okay, they give us absolutely nothing to describe what do they mean by that. And yet, if you wanted the money back, or the $50 maximum, then you have to, on that form, you're required to describe how you have been damaged or harmed by your real money purchases and why that damage or harm entitles you to a benefit. So you have to say that you believe it gives rise to a claim of consumer fraud, breach of contract, or other claim for damages, and then you have to explain how you were damaged or harmed and why you were entitled to that result. But there's really not any explanation of how you ought to make that determination. And I want to add too, will you for sure get that much? The answer is unfortunately no. They are setting aside $26,500,000, but that is going to be used to pay a number of things, not just the people who purchase the loot boxes. For example, out of that money, they're also going to pay the lawyers who brought the case on behalf of the plaintiffs. That would be anyone who had the loot box. And they're also going to pay for administrative costs. The attorneys are asking for $11,300,000 of the $26,500,000, which is a lot. That is some good work if you can get it. So, that's a lot of money, and we'll pull out a lot of that. Then whoever makes a claim will split the rest of that. But don't be, it will be many, many people. And the absolute maximum amount anyone can receive is $50 in cash. Now, you may be wondering, is this, do you have to take this? The answer is no. No, you don't have to. You can exclude yourself. But of course, then you're not entitled to anything under that. You would have to file a separate suit or make a separate claim. And then you also may be wondering, is this final? Is it finished? It's not completely finished in a couple of different ways. One is the case is still pending and the judge has not consented to the settlement yet, but he has given preliminary approval to it. And the second thing is the actual amount that people get, which is capped at $50 or 13,500 V-Bucks, could be less depending on how many claims are made. But the absolute max is that. I hope this helps and explains a lot of the questions that I've been getting. Thank you for coming to my channel. Please be sure to subscribe. I will be updating this if anything new comes out about the Fortnite settlement. And if you want to know if you're eligible, if there's anything more, please also let me know if you would be interested in having me go through the form and talk to you about what I think the various provisions mean. Go ahead and put that in the link in the comments below. If I get a large number, I don't even know exactly what I mean by a large number, but a lot. If a lot of people really, really want me to do that, then I may do that. But it will be, somewhat time consuming and complicated. So I only want to do that if that's really what people want. But please like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you want to learn more. This is a channel devoted to law and legal topics, and thank you for coming.